no, yeah, no, no.
Hey guys, so today I'm coming at you with a different type of video completely. If you don't know, I am a Danae. This is my channel for all things. I wanted to have a girl talk type chit chat today because I'm from Chicago. So I and a lot of my friends have been following the Keneeka Jenkins story pretty closely. If you don't know, recently her death was ruled an accident for accidental hypothermia. And if you don't know the full story, a young woman was found dead in a freezer last month in the hotel's walk-in freezer that wasn't being used. She was at the hotel for a hotel party with some of her friends for a mutual friend's birthday. So now they are ruling her death an accident, and they're saying that she was using, of course she was drinking that night, as you can see in the Facebook Live videos that did surface. She was drinking, and then there was a drug in her system called topiramate, which is a prescription drug, but unfortunately her family said that she isn't prescribed that medication. So this is not a video about Keneeka Jenkins, but that's just one example of what I want to talk about today. So they said that her death was an accident and that her blood alcohol level was a 0.112, and the legal limit is a 0.08. So they're saying that the topiramate and the alcohol in her system caused her to experience hypothermia a lot quicker than someone who wasn't under the influence would. It can cause dizziness, impaired memory, impaired concentration, poor coordination, and central nervous system depression. So I want to do this girl talk video today to show the importance of not only knowing your limits, but it's a lot of college students, you know, we've all been college aged at one point, 20, 21, 22, or even 18, 19. I remember going off to school and my sophomore year, like before you couldn't get me to touch alcohol, I was like, nah, I'm good. And then all of a sudden, like when you get to college, that kind of changes. There's a lot of underage drinking going on. So it's important to not only, number one, know your limits, but also have a plan or know the people that you're out with. I'm not saying or placing any blame on her friends. However, I am saying that seeing stories like this is a reminder that you should be mindful of the people that you go out with, the places you go, and the places where you're getting so drunk that you can't comprehend things, or you're dizzy, or just in general. So this girl talk is dedicated to your friends, knowing your limits, and just how to have fun when you go out, but still remember and know your surroundings as well. The Keneeka Jenkins story is very sad because it's no telling if we will know exactly what happened or if her family will have the closure that they're looking for. But this can be prevented. And it was a lot of girls on Facebook coming out and telling their stories about how they've been in similar situations, or how people were speculating about what was happening, and they were telling their stories. All of these things are important for females, most importantly, to learn from. So I wanted to give my perspective on not just underage drinking or just drinking in general, but some tips and tricks that you can do when you go out in order to make sure that you and your friends are safe. Number one, do not leave your drink. My parents told me this every time I went somewhere or they knew I was going somewhere. Do not set your drink down. Yeah, you may go to the bathroom, you may do this. Finish your drink first. Date rape drugs are real. People will drop things in your drinks and you will not know. You will not taste it. And if you do realize that something has happened, it may be too late. So don't leave your drinks even with your friends. I know, of course, like I would never do anything crazy or let anybody do anything to my friends' drinks. They'll leave them with me before they go to the bathroom. Don't even worry about doing that, because it only takes 1 second for your friend to turn her back and some guy that has been eyeing you all night has just dropped something in your drink. Or even some girl. Like, it can go both ways. 2, when you go out and someone is driving, make sure that the driver is not the drunkest person in the car. Or make sure that someone stays at least a little bit sober so that, you know, they can make sure that everybody gets home safely. For example, if I know I'm going somewhere and I have to drive because I generally have the biggest car, I'm not gonna drink as much as I would if I was just like chilling. When you go out, like, as a driver, you're responsible for everybody. So make sure that your driving is not impaired in any way possible. Now, of course, you all have those nights where you're just like, oh, I know I can make it. I can make it home. I can make it. Like, by the grace of God, it's a lot of college students everywhere making it home. Like, don't be the one that doesn't. So make sure that if you know that you're trying to get that, like, take a Uber, take a Lyft. There are taxi cabs. It's all type of ride sharing apps and things nowadays where you don't have to go out and be drunk or worry. And parking is expensive in some of these Chicago places. You don't even have to worry about it. Take a train, take a Uber. Like, make sure you get yourself to and from your destination safely. Number 3, make sure that the people you came with are the people you leave with. When I go out with my friends, I'll give it one of my friends' birthdays. You roll with me, your parents or whoever saw that I picked you up, you riding back with me. I don't care what you do after that. After I see you walk in your house, you can go about your business. But you came with me, you leaving with me. I'm not letting none of my friends, like, out of my sight. If we go out together, we partying, we dancing, it's always, I know where so-and-so is. And I think that's one thing that actually came with time. Because if you're younger, you're just like, oh, it's time to party, turn up, I'm finna like kick it, da da da. As you get older, it's like, okay, yeah, I wanna have fun, but let me make sure I know. Let me make sure that I know where all my friends are, who they with. Like, I've been in a lot of situations where we go out, you get some creep that walks up, he all in your ear. Like, you never know what he can do. I snatch my homie back in a minute. Excuse me, back up. I done did it a couple times, and I probably done got cursed out a couple times because of it. But I don't care. Like, if I come with you and we go somewhere and some guy is harassing you and you telling him to let go, no, back up. I'm that friend. Like, make sure that the people around you are good and that they're safe. And number, I don't even know what number this is, 5. When you drop your friends off, make sure they actually go inside of where they're going. I know it seems like not that big of a deal. However, one thing that I like to make sure, if you didn't know, when your friend gets out of the car and they walk into their house, that's when your responsibility ends. If I drop you off, I need to see you go in your house. Now, when I pull off, I can't say anything to that, but I can say, yo, I dropped her off, I saw her walk in the door. Period. Or if you are in another car and your friends are in one car, make sure they call you when they make it home. That's one thing. Like, I will blow you up in the morning if I know you were drunk the night before and you don't call me. Somebody should always know where you are at all times, regardless of who you don't want to tell. Number 6. All of these apps and things are cool for like sharing your locations or whatever. First of all, don't get into a habit of sharing your location with everybody. That feature on Snapchat, you can make that invisible to everybody or only to a select few people. I know that I have some friends that like to check into places. I'm not a person that checks in. You don't need to know my every move. I don't need nobody popping up. If you watch Love and Hip Hop, where they're like, oh, such and such shared her location online, so I decided to pop up. You don't got time for that. That's how drama starts. That's how mess starts. Like, if you're gonna share your location or use those features, use it smartly. So I have a friend that goes out all the time. Like, cool. She likes to drink, this, that, and the third. That's fine. She'll call me and be like, yo, I'm here. Cool, send me your location. Or she'll tell me I'm gonna be here. I'm like, cool, send your location. Like, if you got an iPhone, send your location to my Mac. That way, if anything goes left, you ain't spoke to nobody else. You spoke to me, and I can tell them, hey, this is the last place that she was. She was with so-and-so, XYZ. Always make sure that somebody is aware of something. Because you don't want to be in a situation where nobody knows where you are. Everybody's scrambling like, yo, let me try to put the pieces together on Snapchat and da-da-da. Because that happened on New Year's. My friend posts Snapchats every 2 seconds. All of a sudden, nothing. I call her in the morning like, yo, where you at? You good? You ain't posted a snap all night, XYZ. So make sure that you're checking up on the people around you and that you're making sure that everybody is good. They're taken care of. Not necessarily taken care of, but if you're out, that everybody is copacetic and that you get back to where you came from. Because nobody wants to have to call a parent and say, hey, I'm sorry, I lost so-and-so. Like, I could not, and I still can't imagine how Kanika's mother felt when her friends called and said, hey, we don't know where Keneeka is. Like, you don't want to put a parent through that amount of panic. And especially, I went to school out of state, and a lot of my friends did as well. So to call a parent in Chicago and you're in North Carolina and say, hey, I don't think I know where your kid is. Nah, that is insane. So that was number 6. And last but not least, never go anywhere alone. Like, you know you're going out late, you know that you really don't know anybody or something like that. Don't go by yourself. Take a friend. I know, like, as we get older, it's like, oh, you should start doing stuff alone. That's fine. But if you know you're going to be drinking, or if you know the type of atmosphere that it is, sometimes it may be good to bring a friend along. Also, if you are, like, we are in the age of, like, digital dating and, like, social media and meeting up with different people that you've met online. Make sure that when you do stuff like that, you do it in a public place. That's a public place, number 1. Number 2 is well lit. Number 3, you either do it at a time where that's like peak hours, or you know it's gonna be packed, because you don't want to be in a situation where somebody snatches you from a busy location. Granted, people now will watch and record before they actually intervene. Just make sure that you don't put yourself in a questionable situation. Even bring a friend. If you're going to meet somebody online, bring a friend. They don't have to know your friend is there. Just in case, like, something, just make sure that nothing goes left. Always set yourself up to be in the best position possible, because we live in a crazy world. And stories like this are becoming more and more prevalent in terms of things happening when people go out. It only takes one instant to change your life forever. Like, I know that sounds like some parental type information, but it only takes one moment for your life to be changed forever. Don't let, like, your fun turn up night be the night that ruins your life. So let me know what you guys think. If you've ever been in any questionable situations where you felt like things were getting out of hand, or even situations where you had to have your friends back because they couldn't, or somebody was bothering you. Like, we used to go to Waffle House a lot in North Carolina. It seemed like every time I went to Waffle House, somebody was bothering us. And I'm protective of my friends, and I get uncomfortable when people who are acting like, when creepy people or like creeps are around. We're trying to enjoy our meal, leave us alone and go away. So there have been a few situations where I've been the one to be like, okay, it was nice speaking to you, sir. Can you please exit stage left? Because, you know, you don't want people following you outside or anything like that. The person will kind of get kind of jumpy and testy, and that's fine. I will get jumpy back. One thing I will not tolerate is disrespect, and one thing you will not do is disrespect me or the people I am with. If I tell you politely to exit my table, you will exit. And that's a situation where you don't want to be, like, you don't want to be caught alone. So if I'm snapping back at this man and he sees me walk to my car alone and my friends just going about their business and leave, that's a no-no. And those are not your friends. So know who your friends are when you go out. Like, yeah, it's cool to go out with lots of people, but make sure you're going out with people that you consider your friends as well. Because people who don't care about you won't care about your well-being. They won't care if you make it home okay. They won't care like what you're going to do afterwards. If you're drunk and you're driving, they won't care. And that's how you know that those people aren't your friends. So make sure that you have a circle tight enough around you that you feel that tightness and that friendship and that closeness, because you never want to be in a situation like that. So thanks for watching, guys. That was like my mini rant. I'm Danae. Subscribe if you want to see more videos, more girl talks, more chit chats. Let me know what you think, what you guys want to talk about, and your thoughts on everything that's going on in the world today. I mean, well, that's a broad topic, but let me know your thoughts on the Keneeka story, like situations with friends or anything like that down in the comments. Toodles.